Moikka moi! It's Riikka Kovasin here with another video. This time I'm making a canvas of sorts. The inspiration for this piece was apothecary of sorts, but I named the piece Potion Master anyway. I'm doing it on top of this chipboard piece, and first I'm painting all the elements. So I had these lace-like chipboard piece, which is going to be the background, then this little chipboard door, which is going to be kind of the apothecary door of sorts, and then some molded elements using hot glue and silicone molds. So the first thing I did was to color the elements using Paper Artsy acrylic paints. Now I'm adding some ink to the pieces, kind of making them more worn looking by adding just black ink with a little sponge there. Next I'm then adding some golden details, especially to the lamps and some to the bottles as well. For that I'm using this metallic wax and just my finger, so I can just get those teeny tiny touches there. On top of the lace-like kind of backing element I have, I'm then adding another wax, but this is more just a weathered looking, so no metallic elements here, just more like a soot kind of color. I'm using the same wax also to add a little bit more dark areas to the door, making it more weathered and worn looking. For the door, I'm using a little brush because it's hard to get to the little grooves just by using my finger. Next is then composition time. For the main element, I'm wanting to add a little bit of autumn vibes, and for that I die cut these leaves and then I'm coloring them using inks. So I first pushed the ink pads to my craft table, added some water, and then I'm just dragging the leaves through that puddle of color. To make them more realistic looking and more worn looking, I'm then crumbling the paper and inking them using a brown ink, so I get these kind of weathered leaves looking elements. I'm using a heavy body gel medium to adhere the elements to my base, and I'm building this strong horizontal element using a photo negative and also a bunch of twigs. I gathered the twigs from a nearby forest, the fallen ones, not from the trees, and then used just wire to make a little kind of a shelf like looking thing using those. Next I'm then adding the paper leaves in place and then the molded elements. I've sped the process a little bit so there's gaps, but you can see me doing some of the building here. Now here's the piece a little bit more ready. So there's the leaves, then there's the bottles, the bones and the skull, and I just added a little candle there. Next I'm adding some metal embellishments using again the heavy body gel, and then I'll let the project dry for a while. Next I'm then adding collage medium on top. This is matte collage medium, so it won't alter the look of things, but I'm going to use it as an adhesive to add some dust on top. For the dust, I'm then using this really thin powder and just sprinkling it on. So because there's the matte adhesive underneath, it will stick to the surfaces and kind of create this dusty look to the whole project. To add a little bit more texture here and there, I'm also using the same medium to adhere these bigger pebbles or stones. These are very light, so I don't need to use the heavy body till medium for this, but the thinner version is sufficient. After that, I just let the broket dry and then tip the excess off, just leaving the kind of a dusty look behind. And here's the very project and some detail photos as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you did, you know the drill. Please consider subscribing and hit that bell sign to be notified when a new video comes live. Thanks again. I'll be seeing you next week. Bye.